Good afternoon. Excuse me. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here once again. I am blessed as always to have the ability to be here to speak, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. But I want to talk just briefly, even though some would say that you can't speak briefly on the next subject, and that is pre-trib and post-trib. I'm not going to get into a whole discussion right now, and many people have done it, and I'll dabble in it maybe along the way and my feelings. I will say I am pre-trib. I'm not a pre-trib in the classic sense, and I'll get into that at another point in time, but I'm definitely not post-trib. Now, there's a lot of discussion on both sides, and I find it interesting. It's great debate it's to have, and I enjoy every moment of it, I guess, in a weird way. I don't know if you can say you enjoy it. But what it really boils down to, it doesn't matter if you're pre-trib or if you're post-trib. And one will say, well, you have to have a side. Why does it not matter? Quite simply, if you're not even living by the Word of God, and then you're not even following all the other commandments, so to speak, not the 10 commandments of the Old Testament, you know what I mean? If you're not living the life, then it doesn't matter whether it's pre-trib or post-trib, because you ain't going. You ain't going anyway. So I would suggest to those, in my humble opinion, because I've had a lot of discussion with people who are post, and I've had discussions with pre, and I've always found it interesting, those same people who argue are not even following the Bible anyways. Oh, Stephen, who are you to just judge people? Well, not so much judging, I am judging, but when you look at the fruit of their lives, if they're drinking and smoking and cursing and watching pornography and all this kind of stuff, you ain't going to heaven. You're not going. So pre-trib or post-trib, it doesn't matter. So I guess one should focus on their lives. You know, I always thought of pre-trib years ago, but I wasn't even living the life, so I really never got into pre-trib and post-trib and looking up the verses and 2 Thessalonians and Revelations and all of that. I never really got into it because I actually knew where I needed to be, and I just didn't get there as a lukewarm Christian at that point in time. So I would argue, I guess, or just state it simply. If you're not living the Word of God, and if you're not in the Bible, and you're living the life you're supposed to be leading, then I suggest you not worry about pre-trib or post-trib, because you're not going. It's just that simple. You ain't going anywhere. Whether you think it's by faith or works, it doesn't matter, because you're not even living by the Bible. So whether you believe in faith, or whether you believe in works, or whether you believe in faith and works, it doesn't matter. You can't have those arguments if you can't even live the Word of God. You cannot be a Christian and argue with another Christian because you're not really a Christian. But Stephen, people make mistakes. Yes, I know. As long as you're not Hebrews 10:25, I believe, and that's willfully sinning. Okay. That's a conversation can be had because people make mistakes. Yes, absolutely 100%. So before you get into more discussions about pre-trib and post-trib, are you living the Word of God to the best of your abilities? And people now will say, I am living the best of my abilities. I try really hard. No matter how many sins I commit during the week, after I go to the bar, after I'm drinking, after I'm fornicating, after I do all these, I pray to God for forgiveness or I go to confession, and then same thing the following week. After I do those things, I go, after you do those again? Really? Well, you're definitely not a Christian ready for the meat, that's for sure. You're still a milk, and that's fine because you need proper discipleship. I get that. I've talked about that before. And my own issue was the fact that I didn't have proper discipleship in the beginning. I get it. I want to make this video short because it should be very simple. If you're not living the Word of God, if you are not living by the Bible, and as you all know, I'm a King James Bible, but let's take that aside. Some of the same things are in the NIV. Now, they change a lot of things, yes. But there's some still a little basics in there. Hebrews 10:25 is in there too. And if it's not 25, I apologize. I always forget if it's 10:25 or 10:27. If someone wants to correct me in the comments, go for it. I'm in the truck at the moment. So in the middle of this, I keep forgetting this. I have my Bible right here. I always have it here. Why would I not just open right to the pages? So one does not have to. Apparently, I got my Bible upside down. I was wondering why it looked weird. So let's go to Hebrews 10:25. Let's see if I'm right, because I don't like to speak out of turn. All right, Hebrews 10. Bear with me for a moment. I didn't plan on doing a video at all actually today. So here I am. I'm glad I looked it up. Hebrews 10:26. So Hebrews 10:26, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. So it's Hebrews 10:26. There it is. All right. So I want to say again, I don't know how many times I can say it to folks. Don't worry about pre-trib, post-trib. Let's worry about living by the Word of God. Let's get in that Bible. Let's follow the rules of the Bible. Let us do that first before we go spouting off whether it's pre or post. Not sure you can make that argument if you can't even live by the Word of God. I'm talking to born-again Christians. That's all I'm saying, guys. We're supposed to be brethren. Let's have a conversation. And let's hold each other accountable when we are mistaken. There's nothing wrong with that. Thank you for tuning in as always. God bless. I love you. And have a fantastic day.